CARE's Director of Education Programming, Joyce Adalwa, answers your questions about girls' education. A question from Twitter. Is there a difference in the performance of girls in all-girls schools and girls in co-ed schools?
That's a very good question, and one that has research and evidence indicating that children in single-sex schools perform better than those in co-ed or mixed-sex schools. And there's also research that indicates that there is no difference, or that actually co-education schooling environments lead to higher educational outcomes than single-sex schools. However, the real question is whether the school environment is conducive for learning for girls and boys, whether they are in single or mixed gender schools. This calls for an appreciation of the catalytic power of informed, well-trained, and gender and issue-responsive teachers in supporting and empowering children to learn both in and out of the classroom.
A question from Twitter. Education must be linked to job creation, or else poor families will not send their girls. How do you plan to address that part of the loop?
Even as we think about preparing adolescents for the workforce, which is a major thrust for our education programming here at CARE, our programs not only include leadership skills training, which enables both girls and boys to be proactive, confident, organized, and have the ability to articulate their views and opinions and work with others to create the change that is necessary for them to thrive, but also aim to include relevant, transferable skills based on their context and the market environment.
A question from Twitter. Are you aware of the number of girls not continuing education in Midwestern Uganda? Is anyone doing anything about that?
Uganda has implemented a number of programs targeting girls' education. The country is on target to attain gender parity in primary education by 2015 through the Universal Primary Education Program. The focus has since shifted in 2007 to universal secondary education. However, despite the advent of universal secondary education in Uganda, only 25% of girls supposed to be in secondary school were enrolled by 2011, and only 1 out of every 3 girls that join secondary school are still enrolled by the age of 18. The rest drop out due to various reasons, especially in northern Uganda: conflict, lack of teachers, lack of schools. But a number of strong organizations are supporting the government in addressing these issues.
A question from Twitter. How many girls of upper secondary school age are out of school?
From research, we know there are 34 million adolescent girls who have not gone into secondary school and who are missing out on the chance to learn vital skills for work.
A question from Facebook. How do we really create the political will to have our Congress pass Education for All and the International Violence Against Women Act?
It takes collaboration with our partners and the State Department. CARE is working on the Education for All Act and the International Violence Against Women Act, along with the Child Marriage Bill, and CARE will continue to build momentum and support for this until they are fully realized and implemented.
A question from Facebook. Why not boys?
That is always a question that we face in our education programming. CARE employs a girls to approach to our education programs, which means we are addressing access to quality and equitable education for both boys and girls, but also recognize that by far girls are disproportionately missing out on education, and there is need to take urgent steps to address this inequity.